Hey folks, it's Vincent, and today I'm going to be talking about the Olive open source video editor. It's a non-linear video editor that's able to run on Linux. Let's go take a look. One of the things I recently just noticed here, just while I was shooting this video, is the bars will build, but for some reason now the tone will not. And I was going to do the tone and bars, which I've done several times without any issues, but unfortunately I can't seem to get it to do this. And my take, for whatever the reason, only recorded audio, so I don't have video. But this did work, but for some reason now it doesn't want to generate the tone of the bars. I don't know if this project just got corrupted or what, but it's having some issues. But otherwise, it seems to be pretty stable and works pretty good. There's a bunch of different things you can do. You can do a solid color. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, it looks like we can do that. So I can delete the bars, and you can see there's the solid color. So there's different things you can do in here. They got effects. And you can go in here and you can change the position of everything and the scaling and all that. And then you can reset the default by right-clicking and hitting reset default. You can scale up and scale down, things like that. You can actually scale differently one way or the other, and also that's interesting. And yeah, that's interesting. So, anyways, but yeah, you can change the opacity. There's different things that you can change here. The blend mode only has normal. I'm assuming they're going to add something for that. So this solid here can do color bars, checkerboard, and empty bars and all that. So as well as the solid color. So it's got a decent amount of effects and different things in here. You can do cropping, different things like that. You can do chroma key. So you can do time code. Time code's actually one thing I really like because it makes you feel like a video production or just to have time code on your video. It's pretty cool. And you'll see how fluid this video is here. That's because that in Olive, the video in the preview is rendered, as far as I know, by the, at least on the NVIDIA machines with NVIDIA cards, will actually render using the NVIDIA GPU. So that's pretty cool. You can full screen the editor like this, which is pretty cool. You can unfull screen it. You can also full screen the video here under the full screen viewer. So like you could have that on a separate monitor or something. So like if I do this, you can see now this is full screen, and I move my mouse out of the way and be editing on the other monitor because I have two monitors. I can use keyboard shortcuts to activate and deactivate and things like that. So pretty cool stuff. Escape will get you out of that, etc. So pretty cool system there to be able to edit with. Makes you feel like you're a professional just by being able to do that. And I'm sure very quite useful. I've been using Olive for a few months now on and off, just testing it. The latest version available right now that's been released as a release is this alpha from April 2019. Now, you can get the latest source code on GitHub and build, but I ain't going to do that. So, anyways, but you can see here that this is what we got. You can do the sequence or the media for the time code, and there's different settings you can do with the time code. So, like for example, now your time code box is solid black, which I mean, I actually kind of like that maybe a little better than the gray version. I don't know. So that right there is the default, but I kind of like this better. I don't know. They both look fine. I guess it just depends. I mean, I don't really have an issue with either one. They both look all right. But anyway, so that's how that goes. Pretty cool. Oh, you can scale it. I haven't seen this in there. I'm sure it was in there before. I just didn't notice it. But you can scale this. That's like under the time code. That's actually really cool. Whoa, look, there you go. So that's pretty cool right there. That's some pretty cool stuff. But so yeah, folks, that's the gist of that. You can use a media viewer. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do here with Olive. I wouldn't really recommend this for production, but if you're messing around or making a YouTube video or something simple, if you have backups of your footage and stuff, you're probably all right. I haven't really ran into that many issues. I mean, granted, the title and bar issue just happened, so maybe it's unstable. You got a lot of preferences in here. I don't know why I opened that and closed it, but you got a lot of preferences in here. Keyboard shortcuts and stuff like that. So if you want to be heavily keyboard controlled, you can. Olive does have different themes here. I like the default dark theme. I think it looks pretty good. But really, it's just an overall good editor, and I really don't have any complaints. The export settings work pretty good. I've exported stuff from this before, and it looks nice. What I will say is that this number, depending on what it is, your quality, this is going to determine with the quality of the video. And you can see the little guide on screen there. For those that can't read it because it's kind of small text, 0 is lossless. If you put a 0 there, 17 to 18 is virtually lossless. So 23 is high quality, and 51 is lowest quality possible. So I think that if you set this anywhere between 20 and 23, you're probably going to get a good video feed. Something along those lines is probably about right. I'm trying to remember what I set it to when I render. So I don't know. I haven't rendered on this machine that I'm recording off of, so I don't know. But you can import stuff here. It works pretty good. Really, no complaints. I like how easy it is to create another sequence. One thing I wonder about is, can you do different sequence types and merge them together? So let's say that I take this sequence and drag it into the 1080. Yeah, it's not going to let me. Actually, quick question: will it let me drag any sequence into any other sequence? Let's do another 1080 sequence and see if I can drag into that sequence the 1080. I can't. Okay. Well, that was interesting because I thought that you could actually do that. That's interesting. I did not know you could not do that. Okay. I thought you could put sequences within sequences, which would be really nice. So that's a feature I would like to see. But anyways, so it's a pretty good editor, really no complaints. There's some pretty cool stuff like this where you can like resize the panels and stuff, and you can reset it to the default layout if you did something you didn't like, really easy. That's nice. And I just want to say this looks a lot and acts a lot like, it feels to me anyways, like Adobe Premiere Pro. I feel like that they kind of took that same general design and feature set and stuff and is trying to kind of give the same kind of thing. I'll grant you it's not Premiere Pro or anything close to it right now. I mean, it doesn't have like a lot of the plugins and stuff for it. Actually, I don't even think does it even support plugins? I'm not even sure, but it seems like a nice editor. You can see here, this is their about screen. Just really no complaints about it. A similar screen comes up when it first launches, as I said earlier. So just pretty cool stuff. You can set your title safe areas. They default to off, I think, and I actually like them on. I'm one of these people that believes in editing with title safe areas, even though I'm editing for YouTube and most of it's probably going to be on computer monitors and stuff, and the bezels probably isn't an issue anymore, but it's just good practice, in case it's on like a Chromecast or something like that on a TV or a Roku or something, there's a possibility some of the text could cut off if you don't keep it within the title safe areas. So just be careful about that if you want it to be viewable on a television screen for any reason good. But there's a bunch of stuff. You got a graph editor here, which I'll be honest, this is a little bit above, the kind of stuff I deal with. I do much simpler stuff than this, but it works. So really no complaints. You got different ways of laying everything out. So pretty cool. And, this actually, if you switch to this view, actually tells you everything about the project, which I thought was actually pretty cool personally. So really no complaints. I mean, the fact that you can change all this around and it just seems like a good overall piece of software. So, well, folks, thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you, ladies and gentlemen, enjoyed today's program, and I'll see you all very soon.